Welcome to the ISB show. I'm your host, Sahil, here with Rahi and Roy Cito. We're covering all the different regions as World Cup qualifying is coming back. And boys, today we are going to our region, CONCACAF region, but without Mexico, without Canada, without the US. So there's some exciting other teams that will be competing for the potential to get to the World Cup. Let's take a quick look, guys, at the standings. Beautiful graphics provided by Wikipedia.
Ooh, your favorite website.
Our favorite website. That's what we got right now. Look at that. Here we go, guys. What do we got to say about this? Is where things stand before the qualifying takes start.
We're going to the islands, Roy. Are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. So is it worth setting the stage real quick?
Yes, set the stage, Roy. This was your region where you gave us the breakdown of all the nuances. Right. So what do we got? We got This is the deciding round for this round of matches with only 2 games to play. So break it down for them.
Kind of the deciding.
Kind of fair. Yeah.
As you all know, biggest World Cup ever. We've known this for some time. So with this region, we got the top 2 from each of these 6 groups going into a final round. So that's 12 teams in the final round. For me, this is the coolest setup out of any region in the world. Way better than European qualifying, way better than CONMEBOL. This is freaking exciting. I love it. I love the way they've set it up. So you got the 12 teams going around. In that final round, they'll split into 3 groups of 4. They'll play home and away, and then the top team in each group qualifies directly. Top team only.
Yeah.
That is fascinating. That is freaking death-defying levels of anxiousness for any fan of any team in this region. You got to be on it. You got to be freaking on it the entire time. It's beautiful. So,
but the interesting thing about this group here is it's not home and away, right? So there's only 4 matches that are played in each group. So that's why when we say 2 in this next round that's coming up, right? There's going to be 2 matches, and that's it. And then this round is done. Yeah. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
So next round, 4 teams will qualify, which will join the 3 teams that are already in. Is my math correct? Canada, Mexico, and the US that are already in the World Cup, and we'll get 4. Am I right?
We'll get 3 teams.
Yes.
3 teams. Sorry.
And then there's the Inter-Confederation playoff, which we've all been talking about.
Okay, so that's the 4th. Okay.
That would be the potential 4th. They might not make
but a lot more to get into. Okay, so these are the groups. Take a quick look. This is where things stand. Actually, before we get out this, anything to point out here about the groups before we move on from the groups? No?
I mean, there's one big surprise for me. I'm curious if you guys agree what the big surprise is.
Are you saying El Salvador in 3rd place right now and Suriname in 1st?
El Salvador in what looks to be on paper the weakest group.
Yes. Right. But it is not, based on what we'll talk about in a couple minutes here. So that is what we got in terms of the groups here. Take that all in. And then now, guys, let's get back to what we're talking about. All right.
Look at
us.
Look at us.
Oh, what a handsome group.
All right. Here's all the matches that are on coming up, right? We have 2 match day windows for all of these teams. So like we said, we'll complete the group. So Rahi, starting out with you, out of all these matches that are scrolling through the screen here, what is the match to watch?
There's only one correct answer. There's only one correct answer because it's the biggest match of the round. It's the Reggae Boyz at home against Guatemala, my friend. What a game, because we have heard Jamaica is going to take it to the next level. They're going to qualify for the World Cup. I'm telling you that right now. But this is their first major test at home against a good Guatemala side, Roy.
We've been hearing that about Jamaica for 3 years now, my friend. Let me just say that. We've been hearing that this Jamaica team is going to take it to the next level for 3 years now. And I don't want to say I'm starting to lose hope, but I'm starting to think it's a federation problem that they haven't risen to the heights we all expect.
Do you think are they going to qualify for the World Cup, Roy? Is Jamaica going to qualify for the World Cup?
I think they will.
The Reggae Boyz back in the World Cup. I'm saying it now. You heard it here.
Yeah.
For the first time since 1998, they're going back. Saw. What do you think?
Well, they first have to get through, I think, the next round. But let's talk about this round first, right? Okay. So a lot of nuances here, right? Because a lot of the players have had long seasons, but they're getting They got a little bit of a break, and Leon Bailey coming back here, Ethan Pinnock coming back. There's at the time of this video, we don't know if Michail Antonio is going to be fit in time for this match, but they're hoping that he does. So I think all their big boys are going to be back, right? And by the time this game happens, it's possible, right? If results go on their way, that they'll already be through. But this is still the biggest, I think, match of the round for Jamaica to see where they stand. How good are they? Because they're the favorite. They're the favorite now.
100% the favorite. I mean, where are you on McLaren at this point? The manager, Steve McLaren.
Where am I on McLaren? Did you ask me that question or Roy?
Yes, I asked you that question.
I think it's okay. I'd give him a solid C plus B minus, right? I think that he's doing some of the right things in terms of, I think, the players, like player management stuff, but we still haven't seen where this team can take it. So that's where I'd put them at right now.
Yep. That's fair. I do 100% think they're making it through. I think they're probably out of all the teams left, subtracting Canada, Mexico, and the US, they're the second best team.
Panama?
I think Jamaica is the second best team.
Oh, so then Panama
won.
and then Jamaica.
Yeah, of course. And I think Panama is better than the US, as all of the past games between the US and Panama have proven.
Yes.
I think they're about as good, maybe slightly better than the current Canada.
Yeah.
Fair.
It's probably pretty even.
Right on
probably
par
pretty
with
even.
Mexico.
I would say probably pretty even. So that's for this round of matches, right? Panama is firmly in number one, which is why we're not putting their games as the match to watch yet.
They have to easily make it through. They
But-
are almost the kings of CONCACAF, man. I'm not quite there yet to call Panama the kings of CONCACAF, but I'm really dang close to saying it.
Yeah.
They look good.
But then Jamaica is firmly in number two, Rahi. And that's why I'm saying we need to see these top players perform.
Well, we believe they're number two, but to your point, right? As yet, at times they didn't dispatch Guatemala the way we thought, right? So I don't know. In the past, they've struggled in these kinds of games. This is a new manager. It's a team with a lot of talent, but this is a game you have to demonstrate that there is space between you and everybody else, right? You have to win this game at home. You have to win it comfortably.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, for them to prove to you, they have to win this match comfortably.
Yeah, I think so.
What do you think, Roy? Is Guatemala that poor in this current state that you think that Jamaica needs to beat them comfortably?
I think so. Yeah. Guatemala is not a strong team right now. They haven't been strong for a little while. I think this Jamaica with this firepower, look at their roster. Look at position by position. You got Premier League players across the board. You have good Premier League players across the board.
Yeah.
For them to be struggling against this edition of Guatemala, they can't.
Nope. Yeah.
They cannot.
Yeah.
Inexcusable.
I want to point out one name, player in the Jamaica Premier League, Warner Brown. Watch this name as he gets a little bit older. And there's no talk of transfers or any of that kind of stuff. But whenever I see him scoring in the Jamaican league, I see him scoring for Jamaica. Watch this kid as he comes up. I'm telling you.
Surprised MLS hasn't swooped up on this guy, because I've been hearing the name. I've been hearing the excitement around him. They see him as the next generation of talent for Jamaica, but curious when the transfer is going to happen, because he stays another couple seasons and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You can't stay too long in a league like the Jamaican league.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So everyone watch this match, Jamaica versus Guatemala. We'll see how good the Reggae Boys are. We know we have a lot of Reggae Boys fans out there watching this channel. So all of you, let us know your comments and let us know if the Jamaica team is going to get through easily. Is it going to be a struggle? Are you happy with all those things? All right. Moving on, Roy, what is your match to watch? What should everyone else be watching in the other match that they should watch this round?
Yeah. For me, it's just because this World Cup is being played in the US. There is a massive, massive Salvadorian contingent, especially in Southern California, in Texas, in Florida. It would be enormous for El Salvador to play a World Cup in the United States. Those stadiums would be filled to the brim with proud and loud Salvadorians. It would be a spectacle to watch. And they're currently, like I mentioned before, in third in the weakest group in qualifying. It is a shocker for me. What makes it less of a shocker is they've gone through some difficult moments. They lost the two players I think have been the best for them over the past couple seasons, the Roldans.
Yeah.
They lost both Roldan brothers. Both of them resigned from the national team. Sounds like due to federational issues, lack of payment, a bunch of weird stuff going on like that. But those are two very, very good players that they lost.
Yeah. I am hearing some talks, Roy. I'm hearing some talks of Alex Roldan potentially. I don't know if these are just rumors or they've been confirmed, but there's apparently some kind of talks happening. Hopefully for the El Salvadoran team.
There's three, I believe. There's Alex Roldan, Christian Roldan, and there's I forget the first name of the third one, but he's a trainer for the LA Galaxy.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So remember, Christian plays for the US, so he doesn't. Yeah. He didn't play. He wouldn't be eligible.
No, Christian played. Well, true. It's just Alex. Yeah.
But to your point, Roy, like that was a big loss, and it was very kind of, he was very open about why he didn't want. He said he no longer felt that he wanted to be called up to the national team.
Yeah, he was getting a ton of criticism. And I apologize for saying Christian Roldan as well. Yeah, Christian chose to play for the U.S. Alex chose to play for El Salvador. But Alex was getting a ton of criticism because fans and the media in El Salvador felt he wasn't playing with his full heart, that he had all the talent, and it was just a lot for him. It was a lot for him to continue to hear that, to not get paid on time. A lot of other issues in the federation. It became very difficult, including travel. Apparently, there were a ton of issues with flights, and they booked the wrong one, and they booked the cheapest possible one. And it's just, for a player of his caliber, and I say his caliber, meaning a very, very good MLS player, it becomes a distraction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a distraction.
This is as must-win as it comes. I mean, it would be a tragedy of epic proportions if they didn't qualify for this World Cup in North America. And El Salvador has to find a way to qualify, and this is the game to do it. Man, it's a big game.
But let me tell you, you guys are underestimating this Suriname team, and we talk about it in some of our other videos, but there's been a global phenomenon of teams bringing in players that are they have some kind of blood or some relative or some family member. And what Suriname has done, they actually don't allow dual citizenship, but what their government has done is made special permissions for Dutch player. I mean, specifically, it happens to be a lot of Dutch players, which has allowed a lot of good players from the Netherlands to play for this team. Most importantly, Geraldo Becker. There's Kenneth Paul, who plays for Queen's Park Rangers. Yeah. And there's also a Royal Antwerp striker as well, who plays for the Suriname team. This is a good team, guys. And you've seen the recent results. This is not a walkover team, and they've actually won and qualified for the Gold Cup as well.
No, you're right. And it's actually, Roy, a stronger team on paper than El Salvador. But El Salvador has a history of playing and has the passion and has the fandom but Suriname's a stronger roster.
Sure. I just think if El Salvador comes out and plays the way they're known to play, which is that extreme grit, they are a gritty, tough freaking team to play against. And anytime any team plays in El Salvador, it is one of the toughest environments in the region. If they come out and play that way, it doesn't matter who's on paper for Suriname. Doesn't matter. They'll get through Suriname. They'll get through every other match they need to get through in this group, and they'll make the next round. But this is it, guys. They sit in third. I think they're a point behind right now, second place. So they're a win away. They're a win away from being in that qualification spot.
Yeah. I mean, they have an easier match. I'd say the first time around, the first match of this, but then this one is a tough match. But all right. Yeah. So moving on now, guys, we'll pick who our winners of the round are in CONCACAF. And so we will start. Roy, why don't you start? Roycito, we'll give you the start of this. Who are you picking? Who are you picking?
I am going with the team I've been talking about for the past 5 minutes, which is El Salvador. Simply because of what I mentioned. They're playing in the US. All their fans are going to be there. It's going to be electric. They have such incredible motivation to get this done. They're in the easiest group, quote unquote, the easiest group. I know Suriname has changed a lot over the past couple of years, but they need to get this done. This would be a historic, monumental disaster for El Salvador if they don't get this done. So the pressure is on, and hopefully they use that pressure to lift them. So I say hopefully because I want El Salvador there. I would love El Salvador to make it to this World Cup. It would be beautiful, but they need to get the job done.
Okay.
They only have a couple chances left.
Rosito's got El Salvador. And Rahi, who you got? Who's winning this round?
Caribbean. I'm going to the Caribbean, my friends, but not to the Reggae Boys. I'm going to our friends, Trinidad and Tobago, the former team.
We haven't even mentioned Trinidad.
Yeah, the U.S. killer. Another U.S. killer.
That's ready to break out, my friends. This is a team that is going to play Jamaica, by the way, in a little cup called the Unity Cup in London, which will be very interesting. So they'll have that experience going into these games. Trinidad in this particular round has St. Kitts and Nevis, which is a relatively easy game for Trinidad and Tobago. And then they play Costa Rica. And this is as bad a Costa Rica squad as I've seen in my lifetime, friends. And I think Trinidad is back on the rise. Watch what happens in this game. Trinidad is going to make it to the next round anyways, but I think they're going to get a result against Costa Rica.
Wait, do you not think Costa Rica is going to qualify to the World Cup?
No, I think Costa Rica will make the next round. I'm not certain that Costa Rica is going to qualify for the World Cup. Let's see how the next group shake out. I'm not convinced yet.
Yeah, this particular group of Trinidad and Costa Rica, it's pretty cut and dry that I think Costa Rica and Trinidad are going to get through. But okay, you're picking Trinidad over Costa Rica in this match. That is an interesting.
I don't know about that one.
But he's won a couple of the last
just you
last
wait.
picks between us. So he's feeling confident. He's feeling confident about this. But all right, I will finish it off. I'm also going to the Caribbean, and I'm picking the Jamaica Reggae Boyz to win this round. I think they're going to get the results that they need to get maximum points from this round. I think they're also in the Unity Cup, which Rahi just mentioned, but they're resting some of their top players for that tournament, so the other guys will be ready and fresh for these two matches. And if, like we all said, if it's time for the Reggae Boyz to prove who they are, now is the time. If they are really that top team that everyone's claiming them to be, it is now time to show that. So I think they get it done. Beautiful. And that is that. Everyone out there, let us know your thoughts for the CONCACAF region. Is Nicaragua going to shock the world and get through? Is some other team going to shock the world and get through that we haven't talked about? Maybe there's, maybe Puerto Rico. We don't even know.
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
That would be crazy. Puerto Rico makes it.
Yeah. There could be an upset surprise. Let us know. We'll do a recap, some reactions after the matches. Final thoughts from you boys as we wrap up CONCACAF region.
Can't wait, man.
Time, my friends. Island time. I'm excited.
Island time.
Wait.
We should go to these games, man. We could go to British Virgin Islands or something like that, man.
Would you pay for the flights?
Get some sponsors to take us out there, man. Take us
sponsors.
Any
sponsors? Employees of companies who like soccer here.
We want to go to Anguilla. We want to go to Antigua and Barbuda for these matches.
We need a brand from Anguilla.
Yes, there we go.
Yes, an Anguillan soda company.
There we go. Yeah. So, all right, boys and girls out there, keep watching the beautiful game.